It was on a Thursday morning when Mariana was scrolling through Facebook that she noticed a friend's suggestion from a man who shared her surname, Neba. His name was Neba Baltus. Mariana smiled to herself. What a coincidence, she thought. Maybe we're related, or maybe it's just fate. The idea of connecting with someone who bore the same name felt intriguing. Perhaps they could even collaborate on something in the future. Without thinking much of it, she sent him a friend request. The week passed by quickly, and between work and fatigue, Mariana barely had time for social media. It wasn't until Sunday evening that she finally checked her Facebook again, and there it was. Neba Baltus had accepted her request. When Mariana saw that he had accepted her friend request, she felt an unexpected rush of excitement, though she couldn't explain why. Maybe it was curiosity. Maybe it was fate. Without thinking twice, she sent him a message. Hi, Nemi. A few minutes later, her phone buzzed. Hello, beautiful, the reply read. That was the beginning. They started chatting, first casually, then constantly. Day 1 became day 2, then 3, and before long, their conversations stretched deep into the night. There was something about Baltus Neba, his warmth, his humor, and, oddly enough, his name. It was exactly the same as hers, Neba. But from what she found out from Baltus, they weren't related, maybe just from the same clan. One evening, Mariana asked where he lived. To her surprise, he was just in the neighboring city. Her heart fluttered. What were the odds? The next day at work, she couldn't keep it to herself. She told her colleague and best friend, Thelma, about her new online friend. Thelma laughed, shaking her head. Girl, just be careful, okay? Having the same name doesn't mean he's your soulmate. Mariana smiled, but a part of her couldn't shake the feeling that this connection was more than coincidence. It had been a month since Mariana met Baltus online. What started as friendly chats on Facebook had now moved to WhatsApp, longer conversations, voice notes, and late-night video calls that made her heart race. Each time his face appeared on her screen, her pulse quickened. He was charming, soft-spoken, and undeniably handsome. Sometimes she caught herself smiling at her phone like a teenager. Deep down, Mariana believed that maybe, just maybe, this was God's way of repaying her for all the pain she had endured in love. 3 years ago, her heart had been shattered by a man she once thought was her destiny. John, the prayer band leader at her church. Tall, dark, and strikingly handsome, John was every woman's dream. And when he noticed Mariana, the soft-voiced choir girl with a kind smile, everyone said they were a match made in heaven. He approached her with the confidence of a man who knew exactly what he wanted. I've prayed about this, he had said, eyes shining with devotion. You're the one, Mariana. At the time, she believed him. For 3 long years, she stood by his side, praying, fasting, believing. But love can sometimes hide dark secrets. Because John wasn't who he appeared to be. Behind the church smiles and Bible verses, something darker lurked. Fetish things. Strange disappearances. Whispers that followed him like shadows. And one day, Mariana saw it for herself, the thing that changed everything. That fateful Saturday evening, Mariana decided to surprise John. She had just closed from work and thought it would be nice to stop by his house, help him iron his suit for Sunday service, and spend some time with the man she called her soon-to-be husband. She dialed his number several times, no answer. Maybe he was praying, she thought. Still, something in her heart urged her to go. When she reached his compound, she noticed a few strange things. Women's shoes by the door. A bird, perched oddly on the window ledge, watching her. The air felt heavy, almost uneasy. She knocked. Once. Twice. No answer. Then she realized the door was slightly open. "John," she called softly as she stepped in. The parlor was dimly lit, quiet, too quiet. She took slow steps toward the bedroom, thinking maybe he had fallen asleep. But what she saw when she pushed the door open froze her in place. John. And two women. In intimate positions that shattered every illusion she had ever built about him. Her breath caught. Her hands trembled. For a few seconds, her mind refused to accept what her eyes were seeing. The man who preached purity, the one who led prayers with fire and lifted his hands in worship, was living a lie. She didn't scream. She didn't speak. She simply turned around, walked out, and closed the door behind her. That night, Mariana cried until her pillow was soaked. Her heart was crushed, not just by betrayal, but by the hypocrisy. She couldn't trust any man from the church again. They all felt like pretenders wearing holy masks. It took 6 long months for her to even smile again. Men came, brothers from church, co-workers, even old friends, but her heart was locked. All she wanted now was something real. A man who would love her genuinely, and lead her home as Christ leads the church. So when Baltus came into her life, she felt something stir again. Hope. Maybe this was the one. But just 3 weeks before she met Baltus, there had been someone else. A co-worker. Quiet. Respectful. Always greeted her politely whenever she walked past. His name was Daniel, and lately, he had begun showing more than just polite interest. One afternoon, he finally said it, how beautiful she was, how her calmness drew him in. He even joked about her perfect figure, saying, "You're every man's dream, Mariana." But her mind wasn't with Daniel. It was on Baltus, the man from WhatsApp whose smile made her heart race. Still, sometimes when she stared at his pictures, a strange unease crept in. Something about him felt too perfect. Too distant. What if the man she saw on her phone, humble, calm, God-fearing, wasn't the man he claimed to be? Meanwhile, in Mariana's family, life was far from easy. She was the second child, but the first daughter, in a family of 6. Her elder brother, Maurice, was for the streets. Carefree. Reckless. Always in trouble. He brought nothing but worry to their parents. So the burden fell on Mariana. Her parents, humble farmers in the village, struggled to make ends meet. Her younger siblings looked up to her for everything: food, school fees, even hope. And though she lived in the city, her heart was always back home, worrying about them. The weight on her shoulders was heavy. Too heavy. She often told herself that if she could find a man who truly loved her, not for beauty or convenience, but with understanding, maybe life could be better. Not necessarily a rich man, just one with a good heart. Someone who could help her carry the load, lift her family, and give her younger ones the chance to dream. Mariana herself had struggled through school, barely surviving with her parents' small support. She worked odd jobs, studied late nights, and somehow earned her degree. Her dream was to go further, maybe even pursue a PhD. But responsibilities chained her down. So each night, her prayers were simple. God, please send me a man who will love me, work with me, and grow with me. And lately, she wondered, could Baltus be that man? He wasn't rich, but he spoke with purpose. He listened. He laughed. And when he looked at her through the screen, she felt seen. So when Baltus suggested she visit him, it felt like a sign, a chance to finally meet the man who had captured her heart. The next morning, she told her best friend Thelma, barely able to hide her excitement. "Thelma, I'm thinking of visiting Baltus this weekend," she said, smiling. Thelma's reaction was immediate. "Wait, hold on. Who's paying for your transport?" Mariana hesitated. He didn't say anything about that. Thelma's eyes widened. You mean you're traveling to meet a man who hasn't even offered to pay your fare? Girl, are you serious? Mariana frowned slightly. Maybe he'll ask. I didn't mention it yet. Thelma shook her head, half in disbelief. Mariana, you're too soft. These things matter. If he can take care of little things now, how will he handle bigger ones later? That question lingered in Mariana's mind all day. That evening, during their usual video call, she finally gathered the courage to bring it up. Baltus, she said gently, I'd really love to visit you, but I don't have enough for the transport fare right now. He looked thoughtful, then replied, okay, don't worry. I'll see what I can do. It wasn't the clear reassurance she hoped for, but it was something. Mariana held on to that hope, that this trip might change her story. She was already 25 years. After all, in the 3 months they'd been talking, Baltus had never sent her anything. Not money, not a gift, just words, promises, and smiles. Thelma's voice echoed in her head again. Are you sure about this, babe? Mariana didn't know how to answer. She only knew one thing, she wanted to believe. At one point, Mariana began to question herself. Maybe he should come instead, she thought. Strange things are happening these days. People disappear. What if it's a trap? Her thoughts spiraled between fear and faith. Maybe she should put a tracker on her phone, have Thelma keep tabs on her location. But then again, what if she was just overthinking? Maybe this was a test, a step of faith toward finding true love. So she decided to go. They picked a weekend, Saturday after work. It was settled. She would travel overnight to meet Baltus in the neighboring city, a place she had never been before. The journey was about 7 hours long. When Saturday finally came, Mariana left work at 5, went home, packed a small bag, just a few clothes, since she planned to return on Monday evening. Monday was her off day, so it all made sense. Baltus had sent her money for transport, but only one way. Mariana smiled when she received it, but deep inside, she felt uneasy. Why only one way? Just to be safe, she borrowed some extra money from Thelma, enough to get herself back home if things didn't go as planned. That night, she boarded the bus. The city lights faded behind her as she watched through the window, heart pounding with a mix of fear and hope. By morning, she arrived, tired, hungry, and dizzy from the long, bumpy ride. She dialed Baltus's number. Once. Twice. 3 times. No answer. Finally, after several attempts, he picked up. Hey, I just got to the park, she said, trying to sound cheerful. His voice came through, calm but distracted. Oh, you're here already. I'm in the middle of something. Give me about 2 hours, okay? Mariana's heart sank. 2 hours. After 7 hours of travel. But she bit her tongue. Maybe he's really busy. She found a shaded corner at the park and sat with her small bag. The minutes dragged into hours. Her phone battery was dying. She was exhausted. Hungry. And a wave of doubt began to creep in. After nearly 3 hours, her phone finally rang. Hey, I am on my way, Baltus said. Give me 30 minutes. She exhaled in relief, 30 more minutes. She could wait. When he finally arrived, he spotted her from a distance. Mariana sat quietly at the corner, head bent, scrolling through her phone. He walked slowly toward her, tapped her gently on the shoulder. She turned. And there he was, the man behind the chats and calls. Baltus was taller than she imagined. Fair-skinned, clean-shaven, with a calm aura that instantly disarmed her. For a moment, all her doubts melted away. He smiled, though he avoided her direct gaze, as if shy. Mariana stood, heart fluttering, and gave him a warm hug. "I'm so happy to finally meet you," she said softly. He smiled faintly. "Same here." As they walked out of the park, hand in hand, Mariana's heart whispered, maybe this journey was worth it. They hailed a taxi and headed toward Balthasar's place. For the first time in a long while, Mariana felt hope, unaware that this visit would change everything she thought she knew about love. Arriving at Balthasar's house, Mariana was pleasantly surprised. It was a modern flat, neat, well-furnished, tastefully decorated. Everything looked picture-perfect, from the polished tiles to the soft glow of the ceiling lights. Mariana's heart swelled with quiet admiration. Wow, she thought. Maybe this guy is really serious. Maybe this could work. Balthasar smiled as he took her bag. "I'm sorry I didn't make breakfast. I got caught up this morning," he said with a gentle chuckle. "Maybe you could help me with that?" Mariana didn't mind. "Sure," she replied, smiling shyly. After a quick shower, she headed to the kitchen. It was spotless, everything neatly arranged, almost too neatly. She cooked a simple breakfast of eggs, toast, and tea. They ate together at the small dining table, talking and laughing between bites. For the first time, it felt like a normal couple's morning, peaceful, almost domestic. During breakfast, curiosity got the better of her. "So, what do you do, exactly?" she asked lightly. Balthasar hesitated for a second, then said, "Business." "Business?" she echoed, tilting her head. "What kind?" He smiled faintly, looking down at his cup. "Just business. You know, buying and selling." He didn't say more. Mariana noticed the vagueness but decided not to push it. After all, it was their first day together. After breakfast, Balthasar suggested they take a stroll. The neighborhood was quiet, a mix of modern flats and small shops, kids playing football in the distance. The sun was mild, and the breeze felt comforting. As they walked, they laughed, shared stories, and for a moment, it felt like they had known each other for years. But deep inside, a small voice whispered, "Everything feels too perfect." During their stroll, Mariana turned to Balthasar and asked softly, "Balthasar, what really kept you from coming to the park earlier? You knew I'd arrive by 7. He gave a small, apologetic smile. "I had some urgent business calls to attend to. I'm really sorry for keeping you waiting." Mariana nodded, not wanting to push it. She was too tired to argue, and besides, the day was beautiful. Later that afternoon, Balthasar suggested, "Let's make lunch together. I'm not doing business today. I just want to spend the day with you." His words made her heart flutter. They walked together to the market, laughing as they strolled through the busy aisles. The aroma of spices and roasted meat filled the air as they picked vegetables, rice, and some fish for lunch. It all felt so ordinary, yet perfect. Back home, Mariana went straight to the kitchen. She cooked while Balthasar sat nearby, occasionally helping her slice onions or hand her ingredients. At one point, he smiled and said, "So we still have supportive partners like you these days." She laughed, stirring the pot. "Maybe you just met one." They shared lunch, then later went out again, this time exploring the city. They visited a small amusement park, took photos, played games, and laughed like old lovers. By evening, they had dinner at a cozy restaurant before heading back home. The flat was small, just one bedroom and a sitting room, but it felt warm. When it was time to sleep, Balthasar insisted, "You take the bed. I'll sleep on the couch." Mariana protested softly, feeling guilty, but he insisted. That night, they stayed up talking for hours, about life, dreams, and little nothings. For the first time in years, she felt peace. Morning came too soon. Monday. Mariana had planned to leave that evening so she could arrive home by Tuesday morning and resume work. But around noon, Baltus gently stopped her. "Why don't you stay a bit longer? Maybe a week or two. I really enjoy having you here," he said, holding her hand. "I love you, Mariana." His sudden confession made her heart skip. Love? Already? Part of her wanted to say yes. But another part whispered caution. What about my job? My family? The bills? I can't just stay, Baltus, she said softly. If I lose my job, how will my family feed? Baltus squeezed her hand reassuringly. Forget that company. You deserve better. I'll support you to start your own business. Working under someone is slavery. His tone was convincing, almost too convincing. After thinking it over, Mariana texted Thelma, explaining everything. Thelma replied almost instantly. Girl, I'm happy for you, but don't quit your job for a man you just met. If he means it, let him show it now, not later. The words struck Mariana deeply. That evening, she decided to be honest. Baltus, she said, if you really mean what you said, you could help me start the business now, while I still have my job, so I'll know it's real. Baltus's expression changed slightly. So you don't trust me, he asked, his tone quiet but tense. It's not that, Mariana replied carefully. It's just, we barely know each other. I've been hurt before. I need to be sure. Silence hung between them. After a long pause, Baltus leaned back, sighing. I understand. Maybe I rushed things. I've just been alone for so long. That opened a new door in their conversation. Mariana asked about his family. Until now, he had never mentioned them. Baltus's voice softened. I'm the only child. My parents died years ago. Their relatives took everything they left, the house, the land, all gone. I had to survive on my own. Mariana's heart sank. I'm so sorry, she said, reaching for his hand. He smiled faintly. It's fine. I've learned to trust myself and no one else. She comforted him, not realizing that the story he'd just told, though touching, held more questions than answers. That evening, as they sat quietly after dinner, Mariana asked softly. Baltus, what about your past relationships? He looked away for a moment before replying, they just didn't work out. Something about the way he said it felt off, too brief, too controlled. Every question Mariana asked seemed to meet a wall. No matter how she tried to draw him out, Baltus always gave vague answers. Still, she told herself to be patient. Maybe he just needed time to open up. The next afternoon, Baltus surprised her. He brought out an envelope, counted the money slowly, and handed it to her. Here, he said. 500,000. Use it to start a small business. I want to see you stand on your own. Mariana was shocked and touched. When she texted Thelma to tell her the news, Thelma replied almost instantly. That's good, girl. But still, be careful. You're meeting this guy for the first time. Good people are rare these days. Mariana smiled at the message but felt reassured. Maybe Thelma was just being overly cautious. That evening, while chatting on the balcony, Baltus brought up a new idea. You know, he said, you could actually relocate here. Start fresh. Build something new, with me. Mariana was taken aback. That's too soon, Baltus. But I'll think about it. He smiled faintly. That's all I ask. Later that night, after a long talk, Mariana went to bed early, exhausted. Around 1 a.m., she felt someone enter the room quietly. It was Baltus. He sat by her bedside and whispered, "Can I hold you? Maybe, be close." Mariana sat up, startled. "Baltus, no. I'm not ready for that." He frowned, confused. "But we're adults, Mariana. We love each other. Isn't this normal?" She shook her head. "Not for me. I've made a vow, no intimacy until marriage. It's what I believe, biblically and morally." Baltus sighed heavily, frustration flickering across his face. "You really expect me to wait that long?" Mariana reached for his hand gently. "If this is real love, it'll wait." Though he eventually agreed, his tone changed. He smiled, but the warmth in his eyes was gone. For the first time, Mariana wondered if this relationship was what she thought it was. Days passed, and little things began to unsettle her. Baltus never seemed to go to work. One morning, as he sat lazily on the couch scrolling through his phone, Mariana finally asked, "Baltus, don't you have to go to the business place?" He chuckled. "No need. I have employees who handle everything. They call me if anything serious comes up." It sounded convenient, too convenient. Still, he seemed genuinely happy spending time with her. "Let me enjoy time with my girlfriend," he'd say, smiling. Soon, a whole week had passed. It was Sunday when Mariana finally said, "Baltus, I have to leave tomorrow. My boss must be furious. I didn't even call to explain my absence." Baltus's face darkened. "Can't you stay just 2 more days? Please? The distance between us is too much. I'll miss you." His pleading softened her heart again. Against her better judgment, she agreed to stay 1 more day. But when she mentioned leaving again the next evening, Baltus tried once more to stop her. "Please, Mariana. Just a few more days. I can't stand being away from you." Mariana shook her head. "No, Baltus. I've stayed long enough. I really have to go." This time, he didn't argue much. They took a taxi to the park the next morning, Baltus quiet all the way. As she boarded the bus, he kissed her forehead and said, "Take care, my love. I'll call you." When she arrived back in her city, she went straight to the office. Her boss's face was stormy. "Mariana, how could you do this? You know your role here is vital. No call, no message, do you realize what you've done?" Mariana stood frozen, guilt flooding her. "I'm so sorry, sir. I didn't mean to." Before she could finish, her boss sighed and said, "You're lucky Thelma spoke on your behalf. She convinced me to give you another chance. Resume work immediately." Tears filled Mariana's eyes. She couldn't believe her luck. Later that day, she found Thelma waiting at her desk, smiling. "I told you I had your back," Thelma said, hugging her. Mariana smiled, overwhelmed with gratitude. "You saved me, Thelma. I don't know what I'd do without you." But deep down, she couldn't shake a strange feeling that something about Baltus didn't quite add up. Now that she had the money and her job back, Mariana felt truly blessed. She thought deeply about what to do with the 500,000. Instead of starting a business for herself, she decided to send the money to her parents in the village. They had suffered for years, laboring on the farm under the scorching sun. With this, they could start a small trade, ease their burden, and help her support her younger siblings. That evening, while chatting with Baltus over the phone, Mariana shared the good news. "Guess what?" she said excitedly. "My boss let me keep my job, thanks to Thelma. And I sent the money to my parents so they can finally rest from farm work." Baltus paused for a moment before replying, "I'm happy for you, Mariana. Really, I am, but I told you before, I want you to stand on your own. Working for people isn't easy. You should have used that money to start something for yourself." Mariana smiled softly. "I know. But my parents needed it more. I'll save up again." Their relationship continued peacefully after that. Long late-night calls, endless laughter, and words of love that stretched deep into the night. For once, Mariana felt truly seen, or so she thought. A month later, Baltus invited her over again. This time, she already knew her way to his city. She planned to surprise him by arriving a few hours earlier than agreed. She imagined his face lighting up when he'd see her at his door. But what she found instead froze her blood cold. She knocked once. No answer. The door was half open, just like the first day she ever visited him. She called out softly, "Baltus." No response. Curious, she pushed the door open and stepped inside. Then she froze. There, in the middle of the room, stood Baltus, half naked. A red cloth tied around his waist. In his hands, a small calabash filled with some dark liquid. Around him were red candles arranged in a circle, flickering shadows across the walls. Her heart pounded. "Baltus," she shouted. Startled, he dropped the calabash, spilling its contents on the tiled floor. The smell of something bitter filled the air. "Mariana. It's not what you think, please, wait," he stammered, rushing toward her. She stepped back, trembling. "What in God's name is going on here? Are you using charms? On me?" "No. Mariana, please. I swear, it's not what you think. I was just experimenting. It's nothing evil." "Experimenting," she repeated, her voice shaking. "With red candles. A calabash. Half naked." She couldn't believe what she was hearing. Everything about this man, his secrets, his vagueness, suddenly made sense. Without another word, she turned and ran out of the flat. Baltus followed her, still pleading, but she wouldn't stop. That night, Mariana booked a room at a small hotel nearby. Her heart wouldn't stop racing. She replayed the scene over and over in her head. Who exactly was Baltus? What was he hiding from her? Was she in danger all this while? She knew she couldn't go back, not until she found out the truth. Mariana had made up her mind. She had to know the truth about Baltus. She could no longer ignore the signs. Early the next morning, she positioned herself at a corner near his gate, hidden in the shadows. She waited. Hours passed. For long hours. Baltus never emerged. Had he left earlier? Or was he still inside? Mariana's mind raced with questions, suspicion gnawing at her chest. Finally, frustrated, she decided to check the flat. The door was locked. He had left earlier, she was certain of it, but she didn't know the locations of any of his supposed businesses. Defeated, she returned to her hotel, planning to try again in the evening. As night fell, Mariana returned to her hiding spot. Her heart pounded in her ears. And then she saw him. Baltus emerged from the flat, not alone. He was holding the hand of a small child, maybe 5 years old. Behind them walked a beautiful woman, whose presence radiated familiarity with Baltus. Mariana's mind froze. Was he married? Or living another life entirely? She followed quietly, keeping her distance as they walked down the street. Baltus hailed a taxi. The woman and child got in. He made a call, then returned home. Mariana kept her eyes on him, heart hammering with fear and curiosity yet broken. 30 minutes later, another woman, completely unknown to Mariana, walked into his flat. Her shock turned into anger. He's a cheat. A liar. He's been deceiving me all along. Determined, Mariana resolved to investigate further. She needed to know everything about his businesses, his claims, and the life he had hidden. The next day, Mariana returned to her vigil early in the morning. She saw Baltus leaving again, but this time with a young man following him. Both entered a taxi. Mariana boarded one behind them, keeping a safe distance. The ride was tense, 30 minutes of twists and turns until the taxi stopped. Mariana squinted through the window. They were not at a shop or office, but a dark, secluded corner. Fear prickled at her skin. This was dangerous. Risky. But she couldn't turn back. Not now. She had to know the truth. Baltus and the young man passed through a maze of narrow streets and unfinished buildings, Mariana following cautiously at a distance. Her heart pounded with a mix of fear and determination. Finally, they arrived at an uncompleted building, dark and looming. Mariana crouched behind a pillar and peered inside. What she saw shattered her. Belius pulled out a small packet from his pocket, handed it to several rough-looking men, and received cash in return. Mariana's stomach turned. This was the secret life he had hidden from her. Her mind raced. How could she have been so blind? Her first thought was to leave immediately. But before she could move, one of the men turned sharply and noticed her. In an instant, Mariana was surrounded, a circle of dangerous-looking men closing in around her. Her heart froze. Berthoud's laugh cut through the air, cold and cruel. "So, you wanted to know, didn't you?" he said, his eyes glinting. "Now you know. But knowledge comes at a price. You're not going to walk away like this." "What about my money? The 500,000 I gave you. I need it back." Mariana tried to speak, but fear choked her. The next thing she knew, the world blurred, and hours later, she woke up in Baltus's bedroom. Where was she? How had she gotten here? Did he? Her mind raced, terror taking root. Baltus appeared in the doorway, his gaze fixed on her. "You know," he said, voice low and dangerous, "you're a beautiful girl, Mariana. But you wanted to know things you weren't supposed to know. Now that you know what I do for a living, will you return my money? Or do you want me to take it, by force?" Mariana's heart raced. Her eyes darted around, searching for any escape. Were the other men still here? Hiding? Watching? She sank to her knees, voice trembling. "Baltus, please. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to intrude. I wanted to know the truth." He stepped closer, his shadow stretching across her trembling form. "I need my money, and I need you." Mariana's mind reeled. She prayed silently, desperately, "God, give me one last miracle." Her chest tightened. Every instinct screamed for her to run, but fear rooted her in place. She didn't know what Baltus might do next, or if she would even survive. After the terrifying ordeal, Mariana found herself left alone in the bedroom. Tears streamed down her face as she thought about her family and her life. Was this how it was going to end? Thelma's warnings echoed in her mind. She had heard stories of people finding love on social media and living happily ever after. Why wasn't that her story? Why had she fallen into the wrong hands again? And most frighteningly, would these wrong hands cost her life? Hours passed before she finally summoned the courage to see Baltus. She found him sitting on the couch, tears glistening in his eyes. "What happened?" she asked softly. "Why are you crying?" It seemed like a miracle had unfolded before her. Baltus's voice trembled. "Mariana, I am heartbroken. This is not the life I wanted. This isn't the man I planned to be. I've been hurting people who loved me. And now, I can turn back." Mariana's heart softened. She reached out to him. "There is still another chance for you. God loves you. He wants you to come to him." With calm resolve, Mariana suggested they eat, and she headed to the kitchen. Preparing dinner with a steady hand, she felt a quiet peace. That night, they ate in silence, the weight of the past slowly lifting. Finally, Baltus spoke. "Mariana, I am sorry. Your intentions toward me were pure, and I wasn't honest with you. Can you give me another chance?" Tears ran down Mariana's cheeks. She thanked God quietly. Indeed, this was a miracle. "I'll give you time," she said softly. The next morning, Mariana returned to her hotel. She invited Baltus over the following day so they could talk things through properly. Baltus was deeply remorseful for everything he had done, but he confessed honestly, this life he had been living for the past 5 years had been all he knew. Every possession, every success, had come from that dangerous business. He didn't know how to survive outside of it. Mariana listened, understanding his struggles, and the truth about his past. Inside, she just thanked God for carrying her through her university day. She was tempted so many times because things were tough. This was tough, but she had to forgive because she truly loved Baltus. She returned to her city with a new sense of clarity and purpose. A month later, Baltus visited her. Together, they sought spiritual guidance and protection, truly surrendering their lives and hearts to God. Slowly, life began to improve. Even though challenges remained, they faced them honestly, together, growing stronger with each passing day. 2 years later, life had become smoother, and the love between them deeper. After 3 years of dating, Baltus finally popped the question. Mariana shared their journey with her family, warning her younger siblings and loved ones about the dangers of online connections. "Social media holds the good, the bad, and the ugly," she told them. "We must be careful, but we must also trust God to guide our hearts." And in the end, love, tested, refined, and redeemed, finally triumphed.